What's going on, you guys? Team Toon Rose, we are back at you with another video. You guys know who I am. Accompany me, as always, Jack, my brother. How we doing today?
We are about to show off a new deck that I should say, you were playing during the little event here, the little Duel Cup.
That's right. Today we're going to be showcasing the Red Rose Adventure deck. Let's get into it.
I'm sick of feeling like I just keep chasing, but that'll never be that fast. Just leave me alone, I'll do it on my own, and I will let them know when the lights shine bright. Look pale as a ghost to all those opposed. I'm coming here to show how to live life right, and now I'm cold and dissonant. I'm losing my innocence, and you don't know my intent. And now you better back down, cause I'm coming for you. Better back down, cause I'm coming for you. Better back down, cause I'm coming for you. Better back down, cause I'm coming for you.
Let's get ready to duel! Red Rose Adventure. Alright. So as you can see, this was from the Duelist Cup. Yeah, you know how I do. But we're going to be rocking Ghost Bell, the Wandering Griffin, Called by the Grave, Pot of Prosperity, and the Rite of Asmir. Honestly, this is a pretty banging hand, and I like to see it. Now,
Yeah, it's definitely really good.
Now, I will say, with the Adventure Engine, this cup, I've done nothing but non-stop see the Adventure Engine. I say the Adventure Prank Kids, Adventure anything, really. It's just been non-stop. But I will say that this Brave Red Rose deck definitely is, it definitely will take and throw some punches with the best of the decks right now. Let's say I've won and lost against some of the top meta decks with this deck, which makes me feel really good about this deck more so than when I was first going into the Duelist Cup. Because we do have the Adventure Engine in this deck, we do have the DP Engine, we do have Scythe Lock, we have all of the negates, like we're rocking Ghost Bell, Ogre, and Ash Blossom, plus the Call by the Graves. We got Artifact Dagda. I mean, this deck has a little bit of all the goodies, and if worse comes to worse, we can just need brew.
And I see that you're definitely playing Sword Soul. Definitely the second best deck in this game right now. Used to be #1 until Prank Kids Adventure.
That is true. I will say when I first seen my opponent playing Sword Soul, I immediately knew that I was going to need negates. That's why when I did search for cards, I did grab the Ghost Ogre because I knew it would come in handy against Sword Soul. Especially then right here, I'm activating Ghost Bell. Like, yes, I have no more cards in hand with an empty field, but I just negated a lot of bad stuff from Sword Soul. It's just like, I'm okay with it. And we draw into the Nibiru. Okay. Let's
I
say that.
mean, that's definitely pretty all right. Definitely since Sword Soul definitely they play one card, they get two basically. So
Right. But I would say I'm not probably going to need it, so that's why I'm going to pitch it for the Griffin. If you guys are playing the Duelist Cup, just make sure you have deck knowledge down, because if you don't know what your opponent's running, as soon as you see their first couple cards, that's the deciding factor if you're going to win or lose in this Duelist Cup. Jack's the one that actually pushed me towards this deck, and I will say this control deck, I'm not really a control player, but I love this deck. Like, this is all I've been running the past 2 weeks.
as soon as I knew the Adventure Engine was coming out, I definitely tried my best to lean you towards this deck right here.
And it gets me to use my favorite cards, the Red Rose archetype, or the Black Rose archetype, my bad. I really do like the dragons, but they are hard to fit into a deck, because their archetype could definitely use some extra support. I'm not saying that they're bad, but they're not good. It's definitely probably like a mid-tier rogue deck.
Yeah, that's way stronger than other decks. So I mean, I guess that going.
Yeah. But like I was saying with this deck, though, we have a lot of negates, which is very nice to have, especially when it comes to these combo-heavy decks. We have the DPE destruction. We got a little bit of everything and anything. Which now I know how you feel when you were playing Emancipators. Like, it was just negating anything and just stopping your opponent from doing anything is so nice.
It makes you feel good.
And as you see, they surrendered. They knew with DP on the field, it just wasn't going to work out for them. So take that W. All right, Duel 2. Now this hand, I will say this hand is nice too. As long as you start the game with at least one negate, the DPE or the Adventure Engine in your hand, at least something to draw, you're set. You're golden. You're golden, pony boy. So we got Ghost Bell, Red Rose Dragon, Destiny Hero, Celestial, Fusion Destiny, and the Pot of Prosperity. Now, this duel, as soon as I seen Chamber Dragon made, I'm like, oh god, oh no, I'm not ready for this.
It's Dragon Links that apparently only played one card.
Right. So when they set the 3 back, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into DP as fast as I can. That way, if they do get Shio out, I can pop DPE and get rid of Shio, even though they can bring it back easily. But the less it's on the field, the better makes me feel. And honestly, going into this duel, I did not know how this deck was gonna stack up against Dragon Links. Because this was right around the time where I was just getting the hang of the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, I didn't know. They called, and that's the thing, they called by the grave my DP, but I'm like, no! Ghost Bell!
Oh, so many of the Ghost Sisters are just so good.
I do agree. If you haven't yet, anybody watching this video, if you haven't, gotten most of the Ghost Sisters by now, I would highly recommend you do, because they are very good.
3 Ash, 3 Bill, 3 Ogre, at least, a minimum.
Mm-hmm. See there, I'm gonna grab my Water Enchantress to get into the adventure combo, yes. Now, honestly, like, the only issue I've really had with this deck is going up against Eldritch. Eldritch is my arch enemy in using any deck. I hate Eldritch so much, with a passion. But I will say Eldritch does kind of counter this deck a little bit. Just because it can play through all the negates.
Yeah, Eldritch is just so strong.
It really is. I'm not saying it's not impossible to beat with this deck, but it's very... Gotta put on my thinking cap and play smart. I can't play recklessly.
Eldritch is a very strong deck, mostly because of the sole fact you can just play like almost any trap card at once.
Right. Yeah. And so it's an Eldritch deck when you have that patent first turn 5-row backfield.
It's like that.
Yeah. Okay, so here I did misplay, because I was going to. I'm okay with using Heretic here, because I used Dasher's ability, and I didn't want to do that because I want to keep the Ash in my hand. And I was like, oh no, and then they're gonna use Forbidden Droplets on me. Like, okay. So they negated the DPE, and they negated the Dasher, which, if I remember correctly, I think I played the Ash Blossom anyways. Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I did use the Ash Blossom. And I don't remember what I go into here off the top of my head, but I do know accidentally using Dasher's ability is probably what's going to save me. Plus, with having a Basil Roche shoot in hand, it leaves me with a good opportunity because I'll be able to get back my Red Rose Dragon from the graveyard if I really want to.
After that, here's that adventure. You know, there's the Drago back out in the Celestial to draw too.
Yep. Token collector. Okay, so I'm gonna pause this real quick. Christian. Now, in the initial deck, I did run token collector because token collector I found to be a little bit of a brick because I wasn't really using it all too often until I started playing Nibiru. Now I'm like, okay, I remember, now I understand why token collector is in the deck because the Nibiru token could be a little bit of a wall to get over. So
100%.
Yeah.
If this game had a side deck, token collector would be like your first 3 cards for your side deck.
Yeah. So it is up to you if you want to run the token collector, but I'm like how I'm doing it now. I'm running it without it, and it's seeming to work out thus far. But yeah, just be warned. But yeah, you have a lot of plays with this deck. You can honestly just powerhouse it with the adventure engine. Or you can do what I love to do right here, going into Underworld Goddess. I love using my opponent's cards against them.
Oh, trust me, I know. I am the same way.
Yeah. And I would say, why just limited my field when it's it's our turn. Remember, it's our turn. But I'm gonna use the Griffin to negate the Chamber Dragon Maid, which I feel like was probably a good play because we don't want them to have anything on their field. Because especially, I believe they have a dragon in the graveyard at this point as well.
Well, definitely because Chamber is definitely the one that lets them go into their extra deck pretty fast.
Right. Oh, and they I forgot they surrendered. So both duels ending up in surrenders, which I was okay with. And there you have it. That is the Brave Red Rose deck, and I have to say, I am in love with this deck. There's so many negates to play through. Yeah, there's just a lot of versatility in this deck, especially with the DPE Adventure, Scythe Lock, Red Rose. There's just a bunch of stuff you can do, especially with the Super Poly. In which actually the Super Poly card that I have in the deck, the Guardian Chimera, was actually a recommendation from Jackie Boy over here. Jack, I have to give Jack some real good credit because he did help me perfect this deck, which I thank you, my friend. You are a master of your craft.
I just know what cards are definitely okay.
Yeah. With all that said, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. If you guys liked it, make sure you drop a like and comment down below your favorite part or what deck you're using for this Duelist Cup. And hey, while you're here, subscribe. It's free, helps us out. And you guys will get notified when we upload all the juiciest content to YouTube, baby. But with all that said, I'm Kami, he's Jack, we're Team Toon Rose, and we will see you all in the next video. Ciao.
Take it easy.